As the zombie crisis breaks out, countless humans are killed by zombies. However, the weak male protagonist is not afraid as a survivor. Instead, he feels excited because he no longer needs to work. Why is he resistant to going to work? How will he survive the zombie crisis? Like this video, let's reveal the answer. Akira is a college graduate. Today is his first day in a production company. Seeing his colleagues warmly welcome him, he feels optimistic about his decision to join this company. Filled with confidence, he is determined to put in his best efforts and contribute wholeheartedly to his new workplace. While going to his office cubicle, Akira encounters a manager from the accounting department. Her adorable appearance makes Akira fall in love with her at first sight. Even after she leaves, Akira is still unable to regain his composure. As a result, he becomes increasingly convinced that he has indeed chosen the perfect company to work for. After a busy day's work, his colleagues hold a welcome banquet for Akira, who is affected by their enthusiasm and announces that he will work hard. When Akira is about to go home after the banquet, his colleagues' words shock him. It is time to go back to the company. Before Akira can react, he is taken back to the company and begins working overnight with his colleagues. To his surprise, working overtime is not an occasional thing, and after today's working overtime, Akira continues to work the next day and then has to work all night. It isn't until the third day that he has the opportunity to go home and rest. Working under great pressure makes him very tired. After all this, he doesn't want to go to work anymore, but when he thinks of the cute female manager, Akira plucks up the courage to continue working, comforting himself that as long as he gets used to it, everything will be fine. He doesn't realize what disaster this decision will bring him. Little does Akira know that the company he's employed at is unscrupulous. Over the year, employees hardly have time to take a day off, amounting to less than 2 days in total. Additionally, they are subjected to frequent scoldings and psychological manipulation from the company. As a result, the employees have become entrenched in a disconcerting mindset, convinced that those without physical diseases are lacking in their dedication to their work, and the more health problems they endure, the more industrious they appear. Akira continues to work in such an environment, and the only thing that keeps him going is the lovely female manager. But one day, his last hope vanishes. When he is working overtime, he accidentally hears the voice of the female manager from the CEO's office, and only then does he realize that the female manager is the CEO's mistress. From this day on, Akira's only motivation for working hard disappears, and he does not know how he spent these days. Everything here is challenging his bottom line, such as the pressure from work, and a scolding as well as mind control from his superiors. He even thinks about ending his life and going to another world. Although he is disgusted with working every day, he is reluctant to quit the job. Perhaps in his mind, he still wishes to have some interactions with the female manager. 3 years have passed, the colors in his world have faded, and he's engulfed by a sense of bleakness in his life. Just when he's going to completely collapses, an unexpected incident changes his life. One day morning, when he goes to work, he finds an unpaid fee for his bike space, so he takes the reminder letter to find the building manager to pay. But when he arrives, he is shocked to see the building manager eating a woman's body and his terrifying face. Seeing Akira, the building manager immediately rushes to him. Akira subconsciously flees, only to find that many monsters appear on the streets outside. He frantically escapes to avoid the attacks of these monsters, realizing that these people have probably turned into legendary zombies. Instead of feeling scared, he feels very excited. If the world is really invaded by zombies, it means that he will never have to go to work again. From this moment on, his originally gloomy world is revived and colorful. In his opinion, going to work is much more terrifying than facing zombies. Although frantically running to evade the zombie onslaught, a sense of delight fills his heart. The world without working is truly enchanting. After temporarily escaping from the zombies, he sprawls on the ground, envisioning a brighter future ahead. There are still a lot of tasks waiting for him, and he's determined to gradually accomplish his aspirations. At this moment, the female manager appears in his mind. Even though she has become someone else's mistress, Akira decides to tell her what he thinks about. If he doesn't confess his true thoughts to her, he will definitely regret it. So Akira risks being eaten by zombies and comes to the door of the female manager's house, only to find that the door is unlocked. When he pushes the door open, he finds the CEO who has been infected by zombies. Akira plucks up the courage to announce to the terrifying CEO in front of him that he wants to rediscover his original self, so he decides to quit his job today. After that, he bursts out with great power and pushes the terrifying CEO out the window, and the CEO explodes like fireworks in the nearby open space, completely ending his evil life. At this moment, Akira discovers the female manager in the neighboring room. Seeing the female manager's gradual transformation, Akira reveals the feelings he has accumulated for 3 years, boldly confessing his affection for her since first sight at the company. Just as he finishes his speech, the female manager completely transforms into a zombie and charges toward Akira crazily. As Akira hastily flees, a thought echoes in his mind. Goodbye, my love. At night, Akira finally figures something out after a day of fleeing. Whether he has 1 day left in his life or 60 years, he has only a very short time to accomplish what he wants to do. So he makes a decision. He first finds an unmanned store to replenish supplies, and then takes out a notebook that contains his 100 goals to accomplish before he becomes a zombie. Akira then starts his plan. He first cleans the room that he hasn't cleaned for 3 years, which is very rare for him because he didn't have enough rest time and had to work overtime every day for 3 years. After cleaning the room, he drinks a whole bottle of cold beer, and this cool feeling makes him lament that life without going to work is really good. In the beginning, he planned to have a lazy day indoors, enjoying some beer and watching TV. However, he soon realizes that he's run out of beer at home. As he glances at the zombies lurking downstairs, he contemplates life without beer. Ultimately, he resolves to explore the nearby convenience store for some beer. Compared to terrible life without beer, the danger of confronting zombies seems to be insignificant. Since the corridor of the house is already full of zombies, he can only climb downstairs from the sewer pipe. Halfway up, he bumps into a neighbor downstairs. The neighbor, one of the few survivors, hearing that Akira is going to the convenience store, asks Akira to help get some daily life necessities back. Akira quickly dodges the zombies on a bicycle and finally comes to a nearby convenience store. What he doesn't expect is that there is a beautiful girl here who is also collecting supplies. The girl is so good looking that Akira is immediately attracted to her. Thinking that it is not easy to meet a living person in this apocalypse, Akira, after collecting beer, offers to exchange contact information with the girl, hoping to become friends with her. The girl glances at the beer in Akira's hand and then says with some contempt, "In such a dangerous world now, you even risk your life coming here for these things, and I have no interest in making friends with such a person who can't even assess the risk." Akira is confused about the girl's words. Just then, a group of zombies infiltrates the convenience store. Determined to prevent the girl from harm, he stands in front of her. Suddenly, the girl seizes Akira and pulls him backward. At this moment, a speeding truck knocks all the zombies away. Finding himself under the girl's weight, the unexpected sensation leaves Akira utterly stunned. After Akira comes back to his senses, he only sees the girl riding her bike and leaving. He can't help but lament that this is a handsome and beautiful girl and hopes they can see again. After that, Akira intends to return home with the collected beer, but his bicycle is damaged by the truck just now. Fortunately, due to the zombie apocalypse, there are many vehicles on the road without owners. He soon finds a handsome motorcycle and returns home. He climbs on the sewer pipe again, intending to invite the neighbor to a beer if he is at home. At this time, he finds that his neighbor's house is in a mess, and he realizes that the neighbor who greeted him not long ago might now be dead. This makes him a little down, and he thinks something might happen to him one day. After returning home and drinking several bottles of beer, he takes out the notebook. After thinking for a while, he writes down many things that he wants to do, such as going back to the countryside to live with his parents, having a party with his friends, and going out on a date with the girl he likes. So far, he has written 33 things that he wants to do. What Akira doesn't know is that somewhere in the city, a girl is also thinking like him about what to do after the zombie apocalypse strikes. Unlike Akira, the girl writes about what she needs to do to survive this zombie crisis. She is the girl Akira encountered at the convenience store earlier today. Despite the ongoing zombie apocalypse, she stays calm. She gets up at 6 o'clock every morning for her exercise routine. To survive in this risky world, she persists in exercising to keep good physical strength. She dedicates herself to watching numerous zombie movies, meticulously studying the traits of these creatures. When venturing out to gather supplies, she strategically selects secure routes to avoid any encounters with zombies. Today, when she entered the convenience store to collect supplies, she deliberately set up a camera at the door to observe the movement of nearby zombies. The food that she bought is also some very healthy foods. When she first met Akira, who came to collect beer, she thought he was an idiot, but when Akira stood in front of her to protect her, she flipped. Thinking that Akira smiled very happily when collecting beer, while she didn't even take her favorite sugar cake because she wanted to keep fit, she starts to rethink whether she demands too much from herself since the sugar cake is just a snack. Now 5 days have passed since the zombie apocalypse. Akira suddenly finds that his phone can connect to the internet, and it seems that the Japanese government is currently working hard to solve the zombie crisis. At that point, memories of his best friend, Kencho, come rushing back to him. The last encounter they shared was at a local bar. During that time, Akira was complaining to Kencho about the unscrupulous nature of the company he was employed at, and the relentless pressure of overtime work left him exhausted. But Kencho was showing off that he had a good career in his company and had a very beautiful girlfriend. Seeing Akira complaining about his company, Kencho directly suggested that Akira quit his job. Noticing Kencho was very happy, Akira thought he wasn't sympathetic to him and had an argument with him. Thinking of this, Akira feels very guilty. If he had listened to Kencho, he might not have had such a miserable life. Later, he plucks up the courage to call Kencho. To his surprise, the phone is connected. Unfortunately, Kencho is currently in a terrible situation. A few days ago, he and his girlfriend checked into a love hotel and only experienced an outbreak of the zombie apocalypse. Presently, he's confined to the hotel room, and his girlfriend has transformed into a zombie. Fortunately, Kencho managed to restrain her within the room using available tools. However, the hotel was full of zombies and he remains trapped in the room. Initially, Kencho was overwhelmed with despair, but to his astonishment, Akira reveals his plan to come to his rescue. Originally, Kencho was hopeless because there were so many zombies in the hotel. Unexpectedly, Akira makes it. Based on what he has learned in the past few days, he knows a weakness of zombies. That is, zombies will be attracted by sound. Akira arrives near the hotel on a motorcycle and then ties a car horn with a rugby ball and sticky tape so that it can make a loud noise, attracting the surrounding zombies. But the abandoned car quickly explodes due to the zombie siege. Akira takes advantage of this to sneak into Kencho's hotel. Kencho doesn't expect that Akira would really come, and more surprisingly, Akira bows his head and apologizes to him as soon as he sees him. At that time, Akira lost his temper because he was jealous of Kencho's happiness, and now he thinks that he should have followed Kencho's advice to quit his old job. That's why he seriously apologizes to Kencho. Before Kencho can answer, the zombies come. Akira quickly escapes with Kencho to the rooftop of the hotel, where they finally close the door at the last minute. Gazing across the gap separating the rooftops of the neighboring buildings, Akira contemplates the possibility of leaping over, while Kencho dismisses the idea, fearing they would fall to death if failed. As the door to the rooftop is going to be opened by zombies, Akira takes off running, covering a short distance before launching himself into a daring jump, successfully landing on the rooftop of the neighboring building. Just like how Kencho suggested he quit his job at that time, Akira encourages Kencho to take this important step and bravely jump. Seeing Akira so brave, Kencho recalls his fake life. At that time, he was working at a real estate firm. He had to disguise himself every day and made the deal closed almost by cheating his customers. In fact, he lived a very unhappy life, and what he wanted to do just now was to apologize to Akira. Previously, in order to show off, he pretended to live a good life. Kencho doesn't know if he can jump over like Akira, so he speaks out about his dream when his life probably comes to an end. He always wants to be a comedian who makes others happy. After listening to Kencho, Akira says what Kencho suggested to him before, that is, quit the job now and live the life he wants from now on. Encouraged by Akira's genuineness, Kencho summons his resolve to accelerate, and jumps towards the neighboring building's rooftop just as the zombies are on the verge of opening the rooftop door. Yet, his jump falls agonizingly short, nearly causing him to lose his balance and fall off the rooftop. Luckily, Akira grabs his hand and pulls him up at the last moment. They finally survive this crisis. After that, Kencho moves into Akira's house. Since Kencho needs to please his customers, he has learned many skills, one of which is cooking. What he cooks fills Akira's stomach, and Kencho tells him that cooking is something that men have to learn. The reason why Akira doesn't have a girlfriend is that he knows too few skills. His words hurt Akira, who then vows to have a girlfriend to prove himself. After eating, Kencho sees the notebook that Akira lists 100 must-do things, and he discovers that there is a goal in it to associate with flight attendants, and in the current situation, it is afraid that it will never be achieved. However, he does not laugh at Akira and instead writes down his goal in the notebook, which is to become a comedian. With his goal written down, the words in this notebook transform into aspirations Kencho and Akira will strive to accomplish collectively. Upon Akira's proposal, they plan to realize one of the dreams from the notebook today, which is enjoying a game together on an 80-inch screen. They don't have such a large screen, so they decide to go to a nearby mall to get one. On Akira's way off with Kencho, Akira curiously asks Kencho why he wants to be a comedian. Kencho tells Akira that he grew up watching funny shows more than others, and being a comedian is a dream he has aspired to fulfill since he was a child. Before they can go on their conversation, a problem appears. Their path to the mall stands obstructed. To make things worse, an oncoming fuel tanker hurtles in their direction, which is controlled by a zombie driver. Faced with this perilous situation, Akira makes a bold choice. he accelerates towards a convex rock in front of him, and just like a stuntman, he drives the motorcycle at a high speed and flies into the sky to avoid obstacles. To avoid the explosion from behind, Akira rushes to an underground mall. There are many zombies here, and they can only temporarily hide in one of the shops. When they are safe, they find that there are 4 other survivors, 3 of whom are particularly good-looking girls. Despite their palpable fear, the group finds themselves in a stroke of luck as they take refuge in an underground mall. Here, an ample supply of food allows them to be free from hunger, so they intend to wait for rescue by the government. To ease their fear, they sit together drinking and talking. They then introduce themselves one by one. To Akira's and Kencho's surprise, these 3 girls are flight attendants. In the morning, Kencho still said that it was impossible to associate with flight attendants, but right now they are sitting and chatting together, similar to social events. Akira is very excited, and he remembers his goal of having a girlfriend, but he is not good at socializing at all, and what he says does not interest the girls at all. While Kencho quickly wins the favor of the girls, it doesn't take him a long time to hook up with one of the flight attendants. Akira refuses to concede defeat so easily. To catch the girl's eye, he tries to drink with his nostrils. Thankfully, his ridiculous performance injects a burst of energy into the situation, prompting Kencho to join in by shedding his clothes for a humorous dance. Their combined efforts succeed in quelling everyone's fear. It is a pity that Akira drinks too much and gets drunk, missing the chance to get close to the flight attendants. After sobering up, Akira comes to the bathroom to vomit, and to his surprise, a flight attendant appears behind him. The flight attendant pats him lightly on the back. Concerned about him, the gentle girl catches Akira's attention, and they find an unoccupied corner to chat. Just as Akira and the flight attendant are getting closer, a crisis breaks out here again. As I mentioned earlier, there are 4 survivors here. In addition to the 3 flight attendants, there is a man whose foot has actually been bitten by a zombie, and at this moment, the zombie virus on his body starts to take effect, causing him to bite one of the flight attendants. Soon after, the zombie attack also occurs at Kencho's side, and although he gets rid of being attacked, the flight attendant next to him is bitten. The zombie crisis begins to spread throughout this dark mall. Meanwhile, Akira engages in a conversation with the flight attendant, covering a wide range of topics from personal lives to professional experiences. They share many upset experiences during their work. It is the first time for Akira to have an extended conversation with a girl. Out of curiosity, he asks her about the motivations for choosing a career as a flight attendant. After thinking for a while, just when the girl is about to answer, she is suddenly pushed to the ground by the zombie, and Akira quickly heads to knock the zombie down. When he looks at the flight attendant again, he shows a frightened look. It turns out that the flight attendant has been bitten by the zombie, and she will turn into a terrifying zombie not long after. The flight attendant hugs Akira and then walks behind him. She tells Akira that when she patted Akira on the back just now, it reminded her of air sickness when she was a child. At that time, a flight attendant also gently patted her on the back. Since then, she has dreamed of being a flight attendant when she grows up. She is very happy to meet Akira today, and today's encounter is a great joy to her. After saying this, she pushes Akira away hard. Akira keeps running and meets the survived Kencho, who is holding an 80-inch TV. Akira can't help but laugh. He doesn't expect that his friend would still remember this at such a critical moment. Following that, they notice the zombies outside the underground mall appear to have moved away. Seizing the opportunity, they hold the TV and make their escape on a motorcycle, heading back home. Today, Akira has completed 2 of the goals in his notebook. One is to associate with the flight attendants. The other is to play games on an 80-inch TV. After today's encounter, Akira thinks for a long time. Kencho and the flight attendant put a lot of effort to achieve their childhood dream. But what was his childhood dream? To find the answer, Akira writes down a new goal in his notebook. That is, to recall his childhood dream. At night, when sleeping, Akira dreams of his childhood life, when he desired to be a superhero. Upon waking up in the morning, Akira shares his thoughts with Kencho. With the outbreak of the zombie apocalypse, he sees an opportunity to realize his childhood dream. He writes down his new goal in the notebook. To become a superhero, a handsome costume is essential. Akira takes Kencho to the local aquarium, where there is a piece of equipment that suits him perfectly, a shark suit. The shark suit is made of special materials, which allows it to effectively prevent him from being bitten by the sharks. As long as he puts on it, he doesn't need to worry about being bitten by the zombies. Just at this moment, a girl nearby is being attacked by zombies, and Akira saves the girl in a redrawn shark suit, and at this moment, he finds what it feels like to be a superhero. At this time, he observes a crowd of people rushing in his direction. He guides them to seek refuge in the aquarium and prepares to confront the zombies. By chance, he spots a familiar person in the crowd. That is the cool girl he encountered at the convenience store. Now he has no time to recognize the girl, and he has to solve the zombies in front of him first. Although the shark suit can prevent the zombie from biting his skin, he cannot avoid the pain caused by squeezing when bitten. It takes him a lot of effort to finally throw the group of zombies into a nearby river. Akira can't help but lament that being a hero is really hard. After solving these zombies, he comes to the aquarium to join everyone. He wants to take this opportunity to exchange contact information with the handsome girl, but he doesn't expect that the girl rejects him again. The reason is that Akira's behavior of pretending to be a superhero is very stupid, and it is simply a game to satisfy himself. Although this behavior may save some strangers, it can put someone important around him in danger. In short, the girl always feels that Akira is very immature and always does something dangerous. As the girl continues to talk, an abrupt and loud noise comes from the rooftop. Akira and Kensho quickly make their way to investigate, only to be confronted with a startling scene. They encounter a zombie shark with several legs. The mad zombie shark launches an assault on the gathered crowd, causing everyone to scatter in panic. They speculate that the shark may have eaten an infected diver, resulting in its unusual growth of several legs. After a rush to escape, they finally escape into a small safe room at the last minute. Just then, Akira discovers that the handsome girl is missing. Meanwhile, the girl is sitting on the floor facing the terrifying zombie shark alone. In her despair, Akira jumps out from a nearby ventilation duct and hits the shark away. The girl doesn't understand why Akira risks his life to save a stranger, and Akira shouts loudly, "I want to eat when I'm hungry, I want to talk when I see a cute girl, and I want to be a hero when I see someone asking for help. To do these things doesn't need a reason at all." The girl is shocked by Akira's words, but now is not the time to consider whether Akira's words make sense, and they have to survive. Once the girl regains her composure, she comes up with an idea. She remembers that there is a delicate organ on the shark's head, which is used for detecting other fish so that the shark can hunt them. If they can use an electric current to destroy this organ, they might have a chance to defeat the zombie shark. While the girl is looking for an item that can generate current, Akira is attacked by the zombie shark and is knocked to the ground. Seeing that the zombie shark is about to eat Akira, at the critical moment, Kensho climbs to the ventilation duct, strips naked, and shakes his body toward the zombie shark to attract its attention. It is at this time that the girl finds a flashlight. She removes 2 batteries from it and throws them to Akira, who takes the batteries and smashes them hard toward the head of the zombie shark. At this moment, Akira seems to really become a superhero. Although the current released by the 2 batteries is very weak, it is enough to hurt the sensitive organ on the shark's head. As the shark falls to the ground, Akira and Kensho are filled with excitement. Looking at the 2 in front of her, the girl seems to have something in mind. After this crisis, they leave the aquarium together. Akira invites the girl to travel together, but the girl gets used to acting alone and rejects him again. Since then, the girl has recognized Akira, and when they are about to depart, she finally agrees to exchange contact information with Akira, who finally knows the girl's name, Shizuka. As they make their way to leave, Kensho asks Akira about their next destination. Having lived in this city for so long and undergone various experiences, Akira believes he has improved a lot and it is time to reveal his mature side to his parents. Therefore, he resolves to pay them a visit to the countryside. Here brings the end of episodes 1 to 5 of ZOM 100. Bucket List of the Dead. In just 5 episodes, we have witnessed Akira's growth in realizing his plan. While admiring him, I can't help but wonder if I should watch all the isekai animes, so that I might be able to successfully travel through another world before the crisis comes. Well, that's all for today's recap. I'm ready to watch anime. Let's meet in another world. If you haven't traveled to another world yet, remember to like the video. Bye!